Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Mild's Culture Plate. I am your host, Mild Kevin Miles. It is Saturday, January 28th, 2023. And the title is a little facetious, I will admit. You know, it's not that we can't talk about the topics we have today on YouTube. We can talk about them. But we have to be really fucking careful what we say. We have to be really, really careful about what I show on the screen. Because, let me go ahead and just bring this up here. Project Veritas released a video earlier this week. Breaking: YouTube has just removed our Pfizer story from the platform due to a violation of our community guidelines. Project Veritas channel has been given a strike, and the ability to upload any new videos is restricted for a week with threats of future permanent removal. So, this is why I say we got to be careful, because, you know, this is definitely one of the topics I want to talk about, is this Project Veritas video. But I don't want to get into the vaccine stuff, right? I think if you've watched my past videos, you know how I feel about medical treatments, and you know how I feel about consulting with your own doctor, but ultimately making the right choice for yourself and your family. But definitely consult with a doctor. As far as the Project Veritas video, let me go ahead and pause right there. There's something I forgot to do. Something I usually do at the beginning of every show. I pour myself a little glass of whiskey. And once again today, we're going back to the Angel's Envy, because I'm saving the good stuff. I'm saving my good stuff for tomorrow. As you've noticed, I'm currently wearing a Travis Kelce jersey and a 2019 Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl champions hat. So I want to go ahead and take this time to take a pause and talk about football for just a second. As you can tell, I'm a Kansas City Chiefs fan. If you're not, I'm sorry. No, whoa. Hang on. Things are playing by themselves over here in the other window. Okay. If you're not a Kansas City Chiefs fan, I don't mean to alienate you with this. I just want to take a small moment to give a cheers to Patrick Mahomes and your ankle, and Travis Kelce and your back, and hopefully, you know, everyone's healthy and has a good game. That's all we can ask for. Cheers. So, folks, Project Veritas. So they continuously come out with these videos where they have people from large corporations, media corporations, research firms, pharma industry, etc., who think they're going on a date with somebody, and they're bragging and being braggadocious and, you know, spilling the tea, so to speak, about what they do in their jobs that corrupt our society. And You know, I'm just going to say, you can find this video online. This video's making the social media rounds. You don't have to hunt for it on YouTube. I'm not going to tell you where to find it because, frankly, I don't want to get my channel struck. But this latest leak from Project Veritas had an individual talking about certain practices that may or may not be happening at Pfizer labs that seems like it if the person's lying, hopefully they're lying, because it could be super dangerous. You know, what the person's bragging about could be dangerous. So there was a follow-up video where James O'Keefe confronts this person at a diner, and they start flipping out. They say they're calling the cops. They lock them in the establishment. Insanity ensues. And the whole time the person's like, oh, this is, well, so the leading up to James O'Keefe coming in, they're like, oh, this is really weird. This is almost like that conservative organization that likes to film people secretly and then ambush them. And then, of course, he gets ambushed a minute later. It was fucking glorious. So, yeah, if you want to know more about what's going on with Pfizer and this individual who is a high-ranking executive at Pfizer and Project Veritas, go seek out the information yourself. Because, quite frankly, I'm not going to take the risk. You just saw what happened to Project Veritas's channel when they aired it on YouTube. And real quick, here's a meme. Well, a meme. Here's a tweet, I guess, from Michael Foster that was shared as a meme by Luke Radowski on Twitter. Here we go. Let's... Every Project Veritas recording. You're not from Project Veritas, are you? Oh, no, LOL. Oh, okay, just making sure. Yeah, we're building a lair of doom inside a volcano. It's like they definitely, they come right out and talk exactly about how evil they are. It is uncanny. Now, I for the life of me, I don't know how Project Veritas does it. I don't know how many hot, sexy people they have on staff that are willing to go on dates with these fucking monsters. Because that's what it is. I don't know if they're finding them on Grindr or Tinder or OkCupid or what, but somehow they just keep getting into the love lives of these just corrupt fucking people. So I've got to give another little toast here to James O'Keefe and Project Veritas. You know, ambush journalism isn't real journalism. You know, that's what people are saying now. Ambush journalism isn't real journalism. This used to be the way. This was the way stories got leaked. You had to fucking ambush them. What are they going to do? They going to come out and admit the bullshit? No. It's leaks. It's ambushes. These are the ways to get the truth out. So, cheers. Now, I'm going to go to a video I haven't seen yet of the White House press secretary.
But as you just mentioned, some states are trying to block our success. and measures because they would rather use immigration as a political stunt.
Okay. Block our success because they'd rather. Okay. Well, that's RNC research. They obviously, no. No. Yeah, I don't think that was saying what they said it would say. I'm sorry. I thought that would be an interesting thing to cover. It is not. But here's something interesting to cover. Go ahead and move this over. Turn the sound on.
Good afternoon. It's with a grateful heart and on behalf of my entire family that we continue to thank people for all of their prayers that they continue to send us, asking about the progress my husband is making. And he is making progress, but it'll take more time. As you know, today there was a release of some information. I have not heard the 911 call. I have not heard the confession. I have not seen the break-in, and I have absolutely no intention of seeing the deadly assault on my husband's wife. I won't be making any more statements about this case as it proceeds, except to again thank people and inform them of Paul's progress. But that will be the end of what I'll say about the case. Thank you.
So, yes, you heard it there from the former speaker herself. She is not going to get into... She doesn't even want to see any of the evidence against the assailant of her husband. And one thing I noticed about that video, you notice the little Coke whistle when she was breathing through her nose, a little... I mean, I know I don't have a lot of room to talk because I definitely make a lot of breathing noises when I breathe because of my fucking nicotine addiction. But yeah, she had a little Coke whistle in her nose when she... It was great. So yeah, if you're not familiar, there was a release of the body cam footage from the attack on Paul Pelosi. Now, once again, I'm on YouTube. I know there are other people covering it. There are other people showing it on YouTube, but YouTube is real fickle about violent attacks being shown, especially on a live stream. So, you know, I'm going to show the beginning of it up to a point, but I cannot show the actual attack. So let me just bring that up for just a moment. I will bring it up, and there's something very in particular.
Yeah, definitely don't want all of here. I definitely don't want all of here. Ooh.
Okay, so here it is. They're getting ready to knock on the door. Now, if you remember my previous coverage, what had happened, allegedly, the official story, this David DePape bashed in a back window of the house, lets himself in, surprises Paul Pelosi in bed in his underwear, and word was DePape was also in his underwear. It's like held him hostage with a hammer, was asking, "Where's Nancy?" At some point, lets Mr. Pelosi leave the room unattended to go to the bathroom, where he calls 911. And according to the dispatch, at some point refers to the intruder as David and a friend. And now we pick up where the police are arriving. Okay, one thing I want to note before we go any further. There were conflicting police reports, media reports, and witness reports about who opened this door. Initially, it was said that the police officer opened the door. And then it was said that Mr. DePape opened the door. And then it was said that Paul Pelosi opened the door. Fucking watch for yourself. Tell me if you can figure this shit out at all.
Yeah. Fucking said 2620, right? No, 2640. Oh. Yeah, it literally said that.
Okay, now to me that looked like DePape opened the door. That looked like DePape opened the door. Let's go back. Let's go back a few seconds here. Okay, but then it looks like both of DePape's hands are on the hammer. Let's go one more time.
How you doing?
Their hands are all full. I don't know who opened the door, dude. He's got two hands on the hammer, or one hand on the hammer, and one hand on Paul, and then Paul's got a hand on the hammer, and then you'll notice here in a second, Paul has a beverage in his other hand.
How you doing?
See, he's got a beverage right there. So Paul's got a beverage in his left hand and his right hand on the hammer, and David's got his right hand on the hammer, and his left hand was on Paul. So I don't know how the hell the door got open. But here's the other thing of note. Remember earlier, I said the reports were that David DePape was in his underwear. As you can see, he's wearing cargo shorts in this. But if you keep watching,
What's going on, man?
they look like they might be either tied or undone. No.
Drop the hammer.
No. Hey.
Yeah.
What is going on?
Like slid down, tied. Okay. And I can't show anymore because that's when the attack starts, and I don't want to anger the gods of YouTube. And then there's this whole, is DePape a right-winger? No. I've said before on this stream that no, DePape is just a conspiracy theorist. Now, a lot of people say conspiracy theory is in the right-wing realm. But I would say no, there's a lot of conspiracy theorists who are anti-corporate, who are like pro-socialist, and just because they don't like mainstream Democrats, such as Nancy Pelosi, that doesn't make them right-wing. That just makes them libertarian left. And so, yeah, the news media tried to say that Mr. DePape was spreading QAnon conspiracy theories on timelines and this and that. And then the right wing was saying, yes, but the house DePape lives at has all these Black Lives Matter, hate has no home here, rainbow flags, marijuana leaves, left-wing causes. But then the reports were that DePape didn't actually live in the home. His ex-girlfriend Gypsy lived in the home. He lived in the driveway in a school bus. Who knows what to believe? He's a former sex worker. Why did Paul call him a friend in the 911 call? Who knows? Who knows? Was he a gay lover? Who knows? That's not up to me to decide. The interesting notion here is why the hell was Capitol Police not doing their fucking job? And why the hell didn't Paul Pelosi run toward the cops? Now, I'm not one of those people who believe you have to be a perfect victim, but, I mean, you're literally 2 steps away from the cops, and when the guy took his swing, you ran away from the cops, and then wound up in a tussle and then wound up in the hospital. That kind of sucks. It is what it is. So, yeah. I mean, now on to a semi more important topic. Tyre Nichols. If you've been online in the last 24 hours, you're familiar with the now infamous tape of police in, I believe it was Tennessee, Nashville, abusing Mr. Nichols, beating him to death. To death. And since then, there have been a lot of hot takes on the internet. As with any police killing, there's always a discussion that gets brought up about race. The term white supremacy gets brought up. Make no mistake. This was, and again, I'm not trying to make excuses when I do this, and I'm not going to play the race game. I'm just stating facts that I'm later going to clarify with my own opinion. This was 4 to 6. Let's see, let me make sure here. How many police officers actually got fired and charged for this? 5. I believe. Sorry for the mouse wheel. I know it's loud. I'm looking for a quieter mouse. Anyway, so I just want to throw out there that several cities are... Let me go ahead and bring this up. Okay, so here's the 5 officers. And again, opinion by Van Jones, who's a known racial commentator, far left wing, practically communist. And I'm not going to address his claims of white supremacy or racism. But you saw the 5 officers involved in this were black men. And I'm not going to glorify them by having their picture on my stream for longer than it needs to be. I'm actually looking for a picture of Tyre Nichols because I believe it should be on the screen longer. Now, I don't care what he did. I want to make this clear. There are some people that are excusing the officer's behavior because, oh, well, maybe he was a criminal. Okay. What happened in that video? And I'm not going to show the video because, once again, I don't want to glorify violence. And YouTube has been very fickle. Very, very fickle. So the 5 cops charged with murdering Tyre Nichols are all black. Memphis has a black female police chief. Eight out of 12 of their city council are people of color. But again, that's not an excuse, and I'm not trying to play the race card here. But I think it's important before we go the other way and rush to judgment by calling this white supremacy, like some, including Van Jones, have done, that we take a step back and realize what's actually happening in that video. And that is 5 men getting disgusting pleasure off of the pain of someone else. It is thuggery at its deepest. And again, I'm not saying this from a racial standpoint, but I firmly believe that there are open gangs operating within police departments across the United States. And that the same behaviors that you could expect from street gangs, you can see wholeheartedly within the bad apples of our police forces. And this is probably one of the greatest examples of modern times. You know, they say it's a bad apple or it's a few bad apples. Well, this was 5. 5. At one point, somebody pulls out a telescopic baton and starts beating him. They're kicking him in the head. They hold him up and and let another guy punch him in the face. You beat the man to death. So, you know, I don't necessarily disagree with the people who are calling it white supremacy. I disagree with the word white. It's fucking blue supremacy. Because these men got together in their gang, put a little shiny shield on their shirt, and they cruised around together and found someone to beat on. And quite frankly, this is my issue. If you're a police officer out there and you're seeing this, this is me urging you, take a step back. Stop thinking about your daily operating procedure. Stop thinking about the orders you're being given. And think about the oath you took. Think about your mother, your brother, your sister, your children, your wife. Say you're on vacation and the cops of another city want to treat your spouse, your loved one, in this fashion. Don't fucking be that guy. Don't be the guy who thinks that this little shield on your shirt, that this badge, and this belt full of tools makes you superior to the people you interact with on a daily basis. That it gives you authority. See, that's the fucking key word. We go around and throw around the word authority and authorities. We personify the word authority by putting lights on their car and giving them a badge and giving them a different status than everyone else driving down that road. You're just a man. And when I say that, that's not a compliment. You are the same as everyone else driving down that street. And like I said, God forbid one of the loved ones of these 5 men don't travel to another city on vacation and get caught walking down the wrong fucking street when their cops are looking to harass somebody. When their cops are looking to escalate detain, and get violent because they're hopped up on adrenaline and a feeling of superiority. Nobody wants that to happen. Nobody wants that to happen to anyone, and it shouldn't have happened this time. And now we've got protests all across the United States because once again, the life of a young black man, no matter how valuable his life was, life is precious. No matter what he might have done wrong in his life, life is precious. And I'm sick of these fucking conservatives. It's one thing if you're a fucking child rapist, right? But I think that's child rape and serial murder, those go in their own category. But these fucking conservatives, right? They want to act like if you've committed crime, if you've had a criminal past. And again, I know absolutely nothing about Tyree Nichols' history. I've heard speculation that maybe he was on drugs when they encountered him. I give no shits. That's no reason to continue to punch and kick and beat and then lift back up off the ground after he's writhing on the ground in pain. Lift back up off the ground and hold him in place so your buddies could then fucking cross him right in the jaw, in the temple, cracking his skull. And then your other buddy could use his baton to beat him back to the ground. I don't care what he did. So this idea that, he might have been on drugs or he might have been a criminal. No, you wrestle him down. There's 5 of you. You put the fucking handcuffs on him, you throw him in the fucking car, and you take him to the hospital. Before it gets to the lifting him off the ground and punching him in the fucking temple. So, again, these conservatives. My idea of conservatism. The reason I'm pro-life is the idea that you can have a young single mother, pregnant, thinking about an abortion, but the potential future of that child. I don't care how poor she is, how bad of a neighborhood, how bad of an environment that kid's going to grow up in. That kid still has the power to suffer through what they're going to suffer through, thrive, strive, become a better fucking man or woman, and make a positive change in the world and become a fucking role model. And I also believe, with the exception of fucking child rapists and serial murderers, that's why we are supposed to have a rehabilitative justice system. That eventually people are supposed to serve their time, go back into society, and learn how to become productive. I know that's not the reality for 89, 90, 95% of felons, of convicts. I know that's not the case. But that's not my concern. My concern is the 1, 2, 3 convicts a year released from any particular jail who do fucking turn their life around, who do realize what they've done, and try to become a better father, a better man, a better role model for the next generation, for their community, and try to lift up their community. They deserve the opportunity. They deserve the benefit of the doubt. So if you've got someone in the middle of committing a crime, the idea is you preserve them so they can face justice in front of a court of law, a fair trial, serve their sentence, learn their lesson, and have the potential to come back as a productive fucking adult. But when you beat the shit out of them to fucking death on the side of the road for disobeying your orders as an officer of the law, you take away that potential. Not only from their life, but from your life too. Because you're not shit. You're a fucking coward. You're not a role model. And now you have 5, potentially, well, let's say 6. You have 6 potentially strong community building black men whose all of their lives are now over. You have 1 dead, 5 in prison. For what? For senseless fucking violence. For getting your rocks off at the pain of another fucking person. I don't care. All I care about is the potential for a better future. And if you're a conservative that wants to sit and pick apart and analyze and advocate for some kind of self-defense narrative here, fuck you. There's no such thing as self-defense when your partners pick the guy back up instead of handcuffing him, putting him in the car, or calling a fucking ambulance to come pick him up. You instead picked him up and let your partners beat the shit out of him some more. And beat him until he was dead. There's no excuse for that. It's 2023. And unfortunately, we have given the police department so much power. We treat the idea of a tragedy happening to a police officer with such regard because nobody should die in the line of duty. But nobody should die when they're trying to be peaceful in any fashion. So while, yes, I think police making a sacrifice like that should be honored in some way, I don't think it gives you a level above everyone else. I don't think it gives you the right to feel like you're some supreme authority. And I beg you, if you're a police officer watching this, please go back and read your oath. Learn what the true definitions of the words serve and protect are. Question why you joined this career path. And if you did it so that you could be able to hurt some bad guys who truly need hurting, you're doing it for the wrong fucking reason. Because while I fully fucking agree that there are some bad guys that fucking need hurting, that's not the reason to get into a career. You want to fight? Go join the fucking UFC. Go join your local boxing organization. Get into MMA. You want to beat the shit out of people? Go get in fucking MMA. Go get into karate. Go get into boxing. Be a fucking man. You want to fight for money? Go fight for money. Don't put on a badge and then pick fights with the public and escalate and get hopped up on adrenaline. Don't be these 5 jackasses. We need protectors, not aggressors. You don't have the benefit of the doubt. Courts have continuously let cops get off with defending themselves in every situation in which they've thought the smell of a fart was dangerous. We recently had that case where the woman was shot through the window because she picked up a gun after seeing something run through her backyard. Unannounced. The police were found not guilty. Just shot her through the window. Killed her. For doing nothing than grabbing a tool to protect herself while she was about to investigate suspicious activity in her backyard, which just so happened to be a fucking police officer. Whether you believe the police officer was justified in feeling threatened and responding, I think you're fucking retarded. I think you are a fucking idiot if you think that a death sentence is warranted for holding a tool in your hand, which is a gun, while investigating out your window. That gun wasn't fired at the officer. The right to murder isn't based on feeling. The right to murder is based on threat. The right to self-defense is an emotional fucking act. Don't get me wrong. But you better be fucking right. Speaking of self-defense, this past week also saw the second-degree murder trial in Abilene, Texas, of the Miller boys, also known as the Dumpster Defenders. The son was found not guilty. The father was found guilty of second-degree intentional murder. Surely there's a court transcript out there somewhere. Surely there's more information, or people who might have been in the courtroom who have more information about the prosecution's case and the defense and how that played out, but quite frankly, it wasn't live streamed. It wasn't very publicized. But it's kind of assumed that using phrases like "take your swing" or "you get within 3 feet of me, I'm gonna kill you" were seen as provocation, even though, in my opinion, those are meant to be deterrents, not provocation. Like, who wants to get shot, right? You do this, you're going to get shot. And I actually thought the father had a better case than the son. The bat that was swung and thrown in the video was thrown at the dad. The son didn't have a real reason to defend himself. So I really thought that the dad was going to be found not guilty. The son may have been found guilty, but no, it was the other way around. And presumably because of the words of provocation that were used. And perhaps because the jury just felt like making someone responsible for a dead body. And that's okay. That sometimes play stupid games, win stupid prizes. I'm not the kind of guy who's going to show up in the alley over a disagreement with the dumpster with a shotgun. And if I feel it's that dangerous, I may contact the police to be there. Now, again, you just heard my opinion of police. I think they're fucking overly aggressive. They like to escalate. But if I'm having a dispute with my neighbor and I think it's going to be violent because that fucker's a hothead, like these guys apparently did, it's assumed that they brought the shotguns because they knew the guy was a hothead. And sure enough, "Oh, you got guns out in front of my son, blah, 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 blah." "I'm going to take them guns from you and I'm going to kill you." See, he said the threatening stuff. The other guys is like, "Hey, if you take your swing, I'm going to kill you." They weren't trying to threaten. They were trying to deter. "Hey, you better step back. Step back." So I personally believe they were innocent. I personally believe they should have been found not guilty, but it is what it is. There are rumors that second-degree murder can have like a 5-year minimum with eligibility of early release and all this thing. So if you put everything together, like the guy might not serve very much time. But we'll see at sentencing. I mean, he's going to be a felon. He's going to lose his right to own guns. It's fucking sad. But it is what it is. Like I said, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, and yeah, maybe you shouldn't have shown up in the alley with a gun waiting on your neighbor. Because a lot of people are going to see that as an act of provocation. Sorry, just trying to find something else to fill the next 5 minutes with, or 5 to 10 minutes with here. I feel like I had like 1 or 2 more topics that I was wanting to get into just as a, talking about the shit that was trending on Twitter. Basketball. WWE Royal Rumble. Who you got in the Royal Rumble? No, I'm just kidding. I can't. I give no shits about the WWE. And like I said, I'm. You see me wearing my Chiefs gear. I'm getting close to that point with the NFL. Getting close to it. I guess since I should eat some of my words about it being so fake and predetermined since the Bills didn't win. I really thought the media narrative was going to make the Bills undefeatable. Oh, here, let's bring up. I'm going to bring up this meme out of context, and I don't know what it's about. Oh, here, let me swap these back here real quick. I've got to resize that, or at least move it just a touch. Here you go. I don't know anything what this meme could be referring to. Maybe you could let me know. Not in the comments of the YouTube video, but let me know some other way, because I have no idea what that meme could potentially be talking about. So yeah, what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing on a Saturday night in January when it's cold as balls everywhere? Huh? Let me know in the comment section what you do on Saturday nights. Please leave a comment. Even if it's just to give me advice on how fucked up my show is. Leave me a comment. I love to read the comments, and I love to respond to comments. So if you want to talk to me, talk to me. I'm always here. Life. Life. Do you have any faith? Leave a comment below. Do you have any faith in Ronna McDaniel as GOP chair? Do you have any faith of Kevin McCarthy as Speaker of the House? Do you think Republicans are going to be able to get anything at all on the agenda? Do you think they're going to be able to pass any populist bills? Let me know in the comments. Oh my. Other things I can't talk about. Sorry, I'm at the point where I'm browsing Twitter for things to talk about. Yep. Someone's asking a poll of do you pee in the shower? There's nothing wrong with peeing in the shower, folks. As long as you do it before you scrub. And you try to keep your feet away from the drain. After that, then you got soap following it down. I don't know why this is so controversial. Unless you don't use very much soap. Like, then I could see it's controversial. Use a lot of soap. Scrub those sweaty parts pretty damn good. And then Like as you rinse off, that soap will gather near the drain and wash away any nasty urine bacteria that might be there. The city of Philadelphia is greasing its light poles ahead of the NFC Championship game. So as if the race riots aren't enough, you may wind up with sports riots here in the next couple days. Oh, I think I over poured. That's okay. So yeah, if you've reached this far into the stream, I mean, I'm about to go ahead and start wrapping up. If you can, please, I want to plead with you just this one time. I try not to do this often, but just this one time. Please find the Rumble link down in the description. Go over, subscribe to me on Rumble, because one of these years, I want to move this show over to Rumble. And I cannot do that until I'm able to stream to Rumble, which requires me to have either 100 followers or pay $10 a month. And I just can't do that out of pocket when I'm not generating revenue with this show. I can't justify that kind of cost. I can justify the $8 on Twitter, but $10 for Rumble when, unfortunately, I have to do shows like this. I mean, I don't know. I may wind up switching. I may wind up switching money from Twitter over to Rumble. I don't know. But let me know what y'all think. Would you rather me have more free speech on Twitter or Rumble? I think Twitter would grow this channel better. Having that check mark puts people's eyes on the prize. I've already got all of my live streams going to Rumble anyway. So let me know. Let me know what you think. Also, find me on Twitter, @NerfMild. The link to Rumble is below. My Twitter handle is below. My Locals channel is below. And my Facebook page is also below. So please feel free to follow me on all of those outlets. But more importantly, please, for the algorithm's sake, leave a comment below. Click the thumbs up button. If you're on Rumble, it's a fist or a plus sign. Or it's a boxing glove, rather. Boxing glove or a plus sign. Share this off platform. Share this around. Or find one of my other videos and share it off platform. Any of it does wonders for the algorithms. They will recommend my videos to other people if you start doing things like that. Definitely subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. Subscribe on Rumble, subscribe on YouTube, hit the bell for notifications, and you will be alerted when I have more content up at some point this evening. My expectations are, I'm not going to commit, but at some point, either this evening or tomorrow morning, there will be an uploaded video where I break down the Vice panel on guns and school shootings. So be on the lookout for it. Thank you for stopping by Mild's Culture Plate. I'll catch you next time. Have fun. Go Chiefs. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Don't get any on you. And if you do, rub that shit in real good. Take care, everybody. See you later. Bye-bye.